speed running the home loans bit because actually mathematically it's not any different. A home loan is just a reducing balance loan, but why are you taking it out? It's to buy a house. It's also known as a mortgage. So in Latin, mortgage is till death. Ooh, it's a bit morbid, but that's basically how it's going to feel for you people when you try to buy a house, if you try to buy a house. So they work exactly the same as any other reducing balance loan, but they're for large sums of money. The median in Adelaide is like 850 grand now. And they're usually for 30 years in Australia. Okay? So you can get this down or not. It's up to you. I'll give you time. Home loans can be fixed for a short time, around 5 years in Australia, but most home loans are on a variable rate. This means the interest rate can change at any time. This is an assumption you should discuss in your DI. Okay? So recently, if your parents are paying off a mortgage, they'd be kind of happy recently because the rates are going down. But last year and the year before, they would have been pulling their hair out. Okay? Home loans also typically require a deposit to be paid, generally 20% of the value of the home. So what does that mean? This means you're only actually borrowing 80% of the house because you already paid 20% as the deposit. All right. This is also another assumption to discuss in your DI. For our calculations, we're simply borrowing a specific amount, so the reality of paying a deposit is often ignored. What do you need to keep in mind for home loans? By default, home loans will be paid back with monthly repayments. Banks also charge interest monthly, so CY for home loans should always be 12. You don't get to tell the bank how often it compounds. It's going to compound it 12 times a year. So now, this is kind of important. If you're going to get anything down from this lesson, it will be this. Literally the remainder of this topic and your whole assignment, worth 30%, is about different strategies to minimize the interest paid on a loan. How am I going to show you how much interest is saved if I don't have something to keep comparing to? So to help with that, we're going to set up a default home loan that I'm going to constantly refer back to show how interest minimization works, how much interest they save. So if you have a place in your book that you can fold down the corner of for easy access, can you write a little title that says Default Home Loan for 2025? And we're going to pretend that we're going to take out a loan for 500 grand at 5% over 30 years, paying it back monthly. Okay? What do I want to owe the bank at the end of a loan? 0. How much am I pretending to borrow for this 2025 loan? 500 grand. So positive 500 grand. We're pretending that it's 5%. And N, 30 years. 30 times by 12 times a year, 360 payments you're going to be making. What are those payments going to be for our default? Every month, if I'm taking out this loan, I'm going to have $2,684.11 ready. Okay? So, repayments, I'll do the TVM here. N equals 360, I equals 5, PV 500 grand. We solve for PMT, negative $2,684.11 to 2 decimal points. Owe the bank nothing at the end of a loan, PY equals 12, CY equals 12. So what are the repayments for our 2025 12 general maths? They are $2,684.11. How much interest am I going to pay for this? Well, the interest on a loan. Nope. Interest on a loan equals PMT, which was $2,684.11. How many times am I paying that over 30 years? 360 damn times. Take away PV, which was 500 grand, and I got the debt down to nothing. So this isn't going to look pretty. I'm just being real with you. It's actually going to be worse for you guys because houses are more expensive than this. 2684.11 times 360. That's what you're going to pay for the house. $966,279.60 minus the 500 grand that you borrowed in the first place. So the bank is charging you almost as much as the house. in interest. Okay? You don't feel that because you're paying back that 466 grand with your repayments, but that's what they're getting at the end. So that is why your whole assignment is about how do I reduce this? So $466,279.60 in interest on our default home loan. Could I ask you please, can you get this default home loan on a page that you can fold the corner down? Because pretty much every lesson from now on to the end of the term is going to be like, okay, what happens if I choose to pay more per month? And we're going to go, oh, it saves X compared to this one that's in pink right now. Okay, I'll stop there.